is warm today. I'm already sweating now. It's so hot in my garage. Excuse me. Should be live. I definitely am live now. What's going on, y'all? How's everyone living? I got this 4K camera now, so you can see all of my pores. What's up, Blaze? How's it hanging? I just added you as a mod, bro. So you can ban people, delete chat, do all that good stuff for me. I appreciate you being here for it. Yo, Mysterio, what's happening? Jed, welcome, welcome, welcome. Man, I've been trying to get this War Machine suit going, bro. Look, it's basically done. I just got to start painting. I'm going to do, before I actually start painting, I got a couple other things that I can do while other paint's drying. I could be doing some wet sanding. So I'm going to be doing a lot more than just painting on this stream. I'm going to be doing wet sanding. So if y'all got any questions, feel free to ask them because I'm gonna be doing a lot this stream, y'all. Y'all in for it. Yo, Magnificent Seven, what's happening? Welcome, welcome. You said, will it be done by Dragon Con? All I gotta do is paint it. It's all ready to go. Look at this. Look at that guy. My Deadpool has fought you tooth and nail. Your print was too loose? Dang. Greg, what's happening? Welcome to the stream. Ready to see that suit completed? Shoot, so am I. Ooh. I'm just as ready. Trust me. If anybody can realize how much, like if anybody understands how much I'm ready, it's me. Trust me. This is one of my tools that I got for like under 20 bucks or something like that. It's a blower and vacuum, so it does both. It blows and vacuums. This thing is a super handy tool. Easy to clean out. Oh, if you don't forget the filter. Easy to clean out tool, super simple, super sleek. Are those green and red lantern tribal tattoos? Yes, they are. It's like my own little personal yin yang symbol. Good versus evil. I wanted the Sinestro core, but it would have been yellow, and the tattoo artist was like, yeah, I don't think yellow will look too good on your skin. I was like, I agree. Yo, Beetlejuice, what's happening? Can I show off the Captain Rex helmet, please? So the Captain Rex helmet started to warp. The antenna is resin printed. You can see the antenna starting to warp a little bit. I wonder if it wouldn't have warped if I did it with FDM. I might make another antenna. I don't know. But this is the Captain Rex helmet. You know what's so crazy about the Captain Rex helmet is the bucket is so circular that I have to tilt my head. Like, I have to put it on like this. Ugh. I painted this live on stream. And I did the detail and stuff. It was a whole thing. I did it on stream. That's awesome. Looks really good. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that, Beetle. Yeah, because the 501st was Ahsoka's Ahsoka's battalion, right? She was in charge of that. She was in charge of the 501st with Captain Rex and all of those other clone troopers, right? I'm not really big into the Star Wars lore back prior to the BBY, but I know a little bit. So after I sanded everything down with the primer filler, my whole garage was covered in red dust. Red dust was everywhere. My wife lost her mind. She lost it. She made a sign, you can't see it though, but she says, take your shoes off at the door and leave them in the laundry room, because we were tracking red dust everywhere. So I had to go on it was covered all over here. All my helmets was covered in red dust. All these helmets were covered in red dust. Man, it was terrible. Oh, I got what you're saying. The 501st Legion. But I thought the 501st Legion was based off of the clone 501st people. I don't know. I might be wrong. Yo, Rocket, what's up? Am I gonna make all of the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger helmets? No. That's a lot of helmets. I will not be making all of them. The Black Ranger was where's he at? The Black Ranger was my favorite, so I made his helmet. But I don't plan on making everybody's helmet. Maybe the green or the White Ranger. Probably the green, because he's like my second favorite. I used to be a Blue Ranger fan, but Black Ranger's my new favorite. Yo, Pixel, what's happening? Good luck with the live sleep time here. I bet it's probably like 2 in the morning over there. But I appreciate it, Pixel. Thank you for stopping by, bro. Thank you so much. Zach, of course. Adam is alright. He's not my favorite. If we're going with the new Switch, I like Aisha. Aisha was pretty cool. Yeah, I didn't care for Adam so much. The Star Wars weekends, that sounds pretty fun. That sounds pretty fun. So before I actually start getting into painting, guys, I want to show you guys what I've been doing with my palm things. Let me turn this off. I don't want to waste my battery. It's just a pop light. It's a colored pop light that I just threw in there. And here's what's really cool about it. Check this out. I literally have like an arc reactor I can take out. So if I reach around here in the back, it's Velcroed in there. And look, it's a pop light glued to like the arc reactor, and I have a little Velcro on it. That's all it is, so I can just change the batteries when I need to. And then I just put it back in there when I'm done. Make sure you get it right though, huh? That's all it is. The back of it just fell out now. Ugh. I want to get a real arc reactor eventually, but as of right now, just so I can be ready for Dragon Con, this is gonna have to do. I can't. There it is. That's gonna have to do. I gotta turn my fan up a little bit. It's hot, bro. Yo, Griffith, welcome. Whose pop light was it? It's my son. So my son bought like a lot of these pop lights for his kitchen. So we have like a red color for like the oven. We have like a blue light in there for his refrigerator. But we bought a whole bunch of these pop lights, And I was trying to find one that will work. And then we got one more left. But we bought a whole bunch. It comes with like a remote and everything. Look, I should use the remote. It comes with a remote and everything. Double-sided sticky. And then I bought some more pop lights. I bought some more pop lights from Walmart, and they look like this. They look like this. It actually comes with the batteries though, but you take this one apart and it fits perfectly in your palm for the repulsors. So here I have my other gauntlet, or whatever you want to call it, and then I have another one right here. So you take it apart and it fits perfectly in the palm. Now this is just super glue, not super glue, this is just like hot glued in there. It's temporary, because I have to take this out so I can paint the whole glove. But right now it's just temporarily in there. And what you do is when this is normally closed, I can slide my hand in here. I've been practicing doing it because this is not easy to do. There you go. I can slide my hand in there and then actuate the gauntlet. I need to move the button up just a little bit. I want to use my whole hand so I don't have to I guess I can do it different ways. But like that. What do you guys think? That's pretty, it works. It works. Should I get a battery adapter for the light and hook it up to a power bank? I could do that too, I guess. But I got like different little battery ones. So what I'm gonna do right now, before we get to the painting, is I want to get my hand out of this first. There we go. I want to do that for this one. So I bought the new one, but here's the thing about the new one. Check this out. When I took apart this one, this is the one I got from Walmart. When I took this one apart, it has this whole PCB with a button on it. I do not need any of all that. I gotta desolder these leads, and then I'm going to grab one of these buttons that I have. I have like a whole bag of buttons that I bought. I have so many switches in here, but what I want are these particular switches, if I can find them. I know y'all in here somewhere. There you go. So I have a bag. It's almost the same switch that's on the other button. It's like basically the same switch that's on here, but I got another one right here. And it's just a little button that I'm gonna glue onto here, just like I did that one. And then I'll have it built basically the same way. So that's what we're gonna do now. Wow, 17 of y'all's up in here, man. Welcome to the stream, everybody. I'm just G. I 3D print stuff. I'm gonna move this down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing on my desk. And then we're gonna plug in my soldering iron. And I have a little mini filter that I use for when I solder. I normally don't use it this much, but I'm gonna use it this time because I don't want nobody calling me out. So I got my little induction fan. All right. My little fan. My little soldering station. So first things first is I gotta remove this little wire. Where do I get my files? It depends on what I'm getting. I prefer to get my files from somebody smaller, like somebody on Instagram, or if there's a really good modeler that I know, I usually prefer to go with their files first. But say he's not as known, I will go with DO3D, Galactic Armory, if I'm doing a Star Wars build. If it's Star Wars related, I'm probably going to go with Galactic Armory more than not. Control, what's happening? Were the hands hard? Everything it sees, the hands are the hardest. Not for me, I resin printed them. So my hands are resin printed. So I didn't really need to do much. Just a quick passing thought. Yes, so with the switch, you can move it wherever you need it to be. Like I just talked to someone on Instagram, they said their switch is in their index finger. So if you want it in your actual finger, behind the finger, I think I like the palm because I could just, kind of push my palm in there to actuate the switch. Yosh is another good one, Beetle. You got a Halo helmet from Galactic. Galactic is so cool because not only do they give you the files if you want it printed or if you want to do like the visors. I know they do their own visors. I watched one of their YouTube videos and learned how to do the visors for myself. That's how I did this one. I did this visor the way they teach it in their YouTube video. This is like a rudimentary version of their visor. It's alright, I guess. But basically, I just vacuum formed it using PETG, like just clear PETG, and then I vacuum formed it. I did my DIY own vacuum former. All right. So I'm gonna be out of focus because all of this stuff is gonna be in focus. So if you guys are looking to look at beautiful old me, I'm sorry. Well, right now I'm just gonna take these two leads off the PCB board, just to take the light off. There we go. It's as simple as that. I'm going to leave these two wires on here. I don't like them, but I have my own wires that I do like. I just totally forgot which one was the positive and which one was the negative. That's why you should always have a black wire, because now they're two red wires. I don't know which one's positive and which one's negative. I can actually see it. Never mind. I can see it in the reflection. This is the black wire. This says negative on it. So I got the negative wire and then the positive. So as far as the negative is going to go onto here. Onto this piece. So now I have to tin this up real quick. For you guys that don't really know about soldering, tinning means just adding solder to another part. So I have to add solder to this before I can solder them both together. This is just how you prep your stuff up. So I'm gonna heat up this part. Hopefully it don't take too long. There we go. I got a little bead on there now, so now I can just go ahead and load it up with solder. Oh my gosh, come on. There you go. Jeez, that took forever. I gotta change the point. I have to change the tip of my soldering iron thing. My fan just died and it's hot without it, so I need it. I need it in my life, y'all. Who's pretty experienced with soldering? Does anybody got some really good soldering skills or what? It's hard to make a vacuum former. It was difficult, Jed. It was hard. Some people sell them on eBay. Yo, Morph! There he is. Big dog. All right, I'll take that little 30 minutes. You good at ugly soldering? It takes a little bit of practice. It's not the easiest thing. Like, I just dripped a whole bunch of solder here. I don't even know if I'm gonna need it, but we're gonna find out. In this drawer, I have a big old spool of wire. So on Amazon, that's where you buy everything. You buy a big old spool of this wire. I won't need much, just probably, say about that much. You can get them at different gauges too. We're gonna split them up, and then I have to splice them. We're gonna splice them at both ends. All right. All my ends are spliced up. I'm gonna have to tin this wire too. If the wire is thin enough, you could just pinch it with your fingers and pull apart the wire. Oh snap, I did a little too much. There we go. I'm gonna do it with this one too. So I'm gonna go ahead and tin up this wire. This is the negative, right? Yep. My mic is rubbing. Okay, all right, okay. We'll turn the fan down a little bit. Let me know if that's better. All right, good. So now I got this little piece tinned up. I have this piece. This is actually my actual switch. Come on. Thank you. All right. So I got that tied up. Now we're gonna have to attach the power source. Which is this right here. This is what I'm using for my power source. All this is a little battery pack that contains 2 of those 32, what are they? The CR2032 batteries. See them right there. This is what I'm gonna use to power the gauntlet. It's smaller than AA batteries and it's strong enough to do the job. Doing this one, I wish I had one of these. I don't know if you can see it, but it's smaller and it only takes 1 battery, but I don't have any more left. I have a whole bunch of these, but I don't have any of the smaller ones, so I'm gonna have to use this one, which is nothing wrong, it's just a little bit bigger. It's AliExpress to the rescue. I did get a lot of this stuff from AliExpress because it was just that much cheaper. Negative, right? This is the positive one. All right, let's tin up some of these other wires real quick. Some say, oh, you should get the lead-free, man. The lead, it sounds bad. That's why I got my little fan. The leaded solder is amazing. So I'm gonna use the rest of my lead solder and then I'll start trying to use the non-leaded solder, whatever. How's everybody's day going today? Did everybody have a good weekend? Everybody vibing out this weekend? I didn't do nothing this weekend. Sat around, worked on that. Well, I barely worked on my suit. I literally just probably sat around all day, all weekend. Next weekend, going to the lake so I can see the in-laws. That's gonna be fun. Huh. There we go, 10. I'm gonna try to do this quick while I still gotta melt it. Oh no, I'm burning it. I'm burning the solder. See, most solder comes with flux. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I'm struggling with this piece. I'm struggling with this piece. I need to add more solder. I can't get it to like attach. So I'm trying to add more solder to it and it doesn't want to cooperate. There it is. I'll blow it every time. Just chilled and worked. Day was a bit stressful, but it's okay. Why was it stressful? What happened? Ow, burn my finger. All right, let's try it this way. There we go. There we go. Oh, robbed. Yeah. Easy peasy, baby. Easy peasy. All right. Now I don't want any of my leads to touch, so I brought over some hot glue. I got those wires and didn't even need them. Didn't even need those wires. Self-learning coding. Yeah, that's not easy at all. So I'm pretty sure it was stressful. I'm gonna hot glue these connections. Oh no. I dropped some stuff, y'all. One, it insulates them from like sweat. It stops them from touching each other. The hot glue works pretty good for those kind of things, you know? This is what I burnt myself with the other day. I don't know if y'all follow me on Instagram or not. If you don't, you need to. But I posted a picture of a blister I got from the hot glue that burnt me. That shit sucked. Sometimes I get sick of helmets. No, I definitely feel that. That is only truth. Yeah, you see me out here with my little hand gauntlet. So once I glue this one in there, it'd be good to go. And if I did, somebody was talking about, can I move the switch? If I wanted the switch to be anywhere else, I could have made more wire for the switch, but I like having like just a little mini light right here. So now both repulsors for the hands are done. That's all I wanted y'all to watch me do. Oh, So here's something else that was cool. If I wanted to, and I probably will, this was the top to the pop thing. So the lights come with the little glass that you can top. Tell me why they perfectly fit. Right over it. So if I wanted to, I wish I knew how to frost this. If I can frost that glass, and then I'll put this right over top of it. Look at that. It's a perfect fit. That's crazy. So if I were to frost this glass, then it's perfect. But yeah, there you go. Move that out of the way. Next thing I wanted to do, y'all, was I want to show you one piece that I'm working on as well. So I went ahead and printed the forearm guns. So eventually, after I paint this and then detail it, I'm going to have to attach it to the arm thing. And this is how it goes right here. So I have to attach it to the arm right there. What about sanding the glass? I think that'll work. You have that same glue gun? I got it on a discount. Not a discount, but I got it on like sale, so I just bought a whole bunch of stuff. So one of the things that I had to do was print these guns and then slice them in half and then attach them. But when I did that, some of the pieces didn't attach with it. So I have to glue those on. So here's one that I did better, but all these pieces came off of it. And then this one has to be these pieces. So I'm going to glue those now. To glue these two pieces together, I use some 3D PLA glue. That stuff works amazing. It works better at bonding, I think, than super glue because it bonds the whole part like chemically together. So essentially, once you bond them chemically together, they fuse perfectly together. You can't see what I'm doing. I have this little part right here that needs to be glued. So I'm just playing with the glue to work it all the way down to the bottom. This piece right here. And now I'm going to wipe off the excess. And then hold it together. And then spray some activator. And there it goes. This super glue right here, it's Starbond gap filler thick super glue. And then you get the Starbond accelerator. Bruh. A1. Ronnie, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Bruh, let me tell you, this super glue is amazing, but just have some acetone on you because you will glue your fingers together. Always have some acetone on deck because, like I said, you will glue your fingers together. All right, so I got to make these look alike. This piece came off of here, so I got to glue this onto here. Now this one feels like it's gonna fall off, so I'm just gonna add some glue to it. I don't want to spray too much. If you spray a lot of this accelerant onto your parts, they turn white. So I try to do it, but not a lot. Whoops. It didn't even hold together. There we go. You lay the next coat of red on your Deadpool sides. What does that mean? What do you mean your Deadpool sides? Like your armor? Oh no. Trying to do this and not glue your fingers together is an art form. I'm gonna tell y'all what. Oh, size of the helmet, nice. Did it on the black and painted it on an elegant red. Nice, good job. Okay. It's so hot in my garage, y'all. I'm just dying. I got these lights bright in my face. There she is. Yo, Lair, what's happening? Oh shit, he's not in here. Never mind. Yo, what the gifted? Morph with the 5 gifted, bro. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yo, bees, welcome in here. Thank you so much for all those gifted, man. I know they all appreciate it. Everybody who received one will appreciate those. Thank you so much, Morph. Big shout out to my mod, Morph, y'all. Hey, thank you so much for coming in, Morph. Go back to work, bro. Don't get fired because of me. I don't want to be the reason why you got fired. But look at my gun. I don't like to print guns. This is probably the last gun I print. So y'all seen it here. Y'all seen it here. The last Just G gun. Oh God. I'm destroying my room. Whew. All right. I needed a file. I didn't know if I want to use sandpaper or not to sand this down. And I will use this file. This isn't the best file, by the way. This file is atrocious. Later, Morph. I'ma holler at you later. All right, get that sanded down a little bit better. And then I have this piece that needs to be attached. To it. I was a little off. But now I'm gonna fill it in with some of this glue. This glue is like the best gap filler ever. And then I'm gonna add this one to here. Once I paint this, y'all, you won't even be able to tell. They actually go like this. Right? Yeah. They're gonna go like this. You said that's what I need to do to get some files for hard to reach places like I. Oh, files. Yeah. All right, so these are done. These just have to be painted now. I have to paint them and place them on the forearms after everything is all painted. Just glue these guys on there. I'm probably gonna use 2-part epoxy because I don't want these things to come off. Now what I want to do is show you guys some wet sanding that I do. I wet sand before I actually paint, and that's what I'm about to do before I actually paint for y'all. And I'm gonna show you how I do that. First of all, let's talk about sandpaper. I use, this isn't not even open. I use 400 grit sandpaper for sanding. It works the best. So 400, 220, and 400. If I'm working my way up in the beginning, I start with 220 wet sanding and then bump up to 400, and then I'll be usually happy. But I think in this particular situation, I don't need to use the 220 first. I'm gonna go straight to 400. So I know I have a used 400 in here somewhere. There we are, governor. Just in case. I don't know if you guys saw my video that I did with smoothing, sanding prints using only sandpaper. I missed. But I have a file folder that you use for like files. Filled it up with straight sandpaper. Just so you know I'm not bullshitting. Look at this. Just all different sandpaper grits. All different type. I have sandpaper out the wazoo. So if you have to, start yourself a sandpaper collection. The G to Sandpaper King, I wish. I wish. So let's move my forearm. The first thing I want to paint is the front and back piece of my armor. So I'm going to wet sand those pieces first. The paint I'll be using today, guys, is the Krylon all-in-one paint and primer metallic finish. Normally, I don't use paint like this. I'll use like a model or a crafting paint. But because I have to do so much to save myself a little buck, this was $7. So this is a little under $7 actually. So I was able to buy a lot more of these than and this will cover a lot more ground versus me trying to paint something else. But I have like 7 cans of this. And if I need some more, probably 2 or 3 more cans, I can just go to any store. Everybody has it. Walmart has them, Lowe's, Home Depot. This Krylon All Fusion stuff is good. And it looks pretty similar to the paint I already have on my helmet, wherever that's at. So to not make a mess, we're gonna place this silicone mat down. It still has paint from our gook from my, what's this call it? And then I have a little tiny bucket. Normally I use a large bucket, but to shoot videos and not make a lot of space, I'm gonna have this little bucket. We're gonna fill this up with some lukewarm water. Have I tried callus sanders? What do you mean? What are callus sanders? Like power sanders? Would an air gun be cheaper? Well, see, now you're coming into a lot different more factors. I have my air guns, but if you learn how to use a rattle can, they will be just as good, if not better. Well, not better, but they can be just as good as an air gun. Now, with an air gun, you're gonna have to probably mix your paint. You have to know how much you're using. It just seems like a lot of work. But an air gun would work. Yeah, I don't see any problem with using a callus sander for callus on your feet. I've never tried it or thought about using a callus sander. I have to think about that a little bit more. That's interesting. I have bugs flying around. You said it works well. I saw somebody use, like for sanding, they have like the little sanding box, you know, when you go to the nail place and they have like, it sucks up all the dust. I seen that. But I never thought about a callus sander. Interesting. All right, I'm going to fill my little bucket full of water. I'm probably gonna do cold water because it's hot. I'm gonna do cold. There's a few places that I want to show you on my armor too. The abs come off too, so I have my abs and then I Velcro the abs right on top. My little six pack, y'all. So there's a few places in particular that I want to pay attention to. Let me take off my arc reactor. What spray gun do I have? Let's talk about spray guns for a second. I got time. I have multiple spray guns. I have different ones for different uses. This is a hybrid. It's a mix between a spray gun and an airbrush. This is my Grex Tritonum TS. Has a side feed. It is. This you need a air compressor for. So I have like a little pump that I use for my airbrushing, but I have a pump, like a giant air compressor for my guns and for my mini hybrid brush. So this is one of them that I use for light to medium work. I haven't used this one yet, but this is a Harbor Freight gun. It's 20 bucks. You can get it right down at Harbor Freight. I haven't used it yet, so I can't tell you how good it is. And this one I use, this is an Aero Pro. This was 50 bucks I got from Amazon. I thought this one looks the best. This is the one that's like, I've researched it. They said it's really good for the price for entry level. I use this only for a clear coat. So when I do my clear coat on my suit, you'll see me use this one. And those are my 3 airbrushes. Said $20, not bad. Nah, this thing is, I haven't used it yet, so I can't tell you how good it is. I might have to use it one day. I'll put some paint in it and then spray something. We'll see. I dropped a box on the floor, spilled everywhere. But this one, I forgot to tell you how much this one is. This is like 320 bucks. This costs like triple the other airbrushes. So yeah, let you know I use this one more than anything. It also comes with a whole bunch of attachments too. So you got your little mini cup. This is the cup I'll probably use the most. Then you have a larger cup if you really want to get into it. But comes with different tips, nozzles. And in a suitcase. Ugh. Okay, so let's get into it. This is the first piece I'm probably going to paint, so I'm going to do this one first. Some particular spots that I want to work on are the seams where I actually fuse the print together. So if we pay close attention here, on the sides, I really want to wet sand there. The top, I printed on this side. So you can see a lot of layer lines still right there. I want to sand those down. And then right here in the front, you can see in this gap right here. Oh, sorry. Right here, you can see some layer lines right there too. I want to hit those up. So those are the spots I'm going to be paying the most attention to. I don't plan on spending 30 minutes wet sanding. I just want to spend like 10 minutes doing this, knocking out the most important spots. That's another reason why I'm only going with the 400 first. So let's tear off a piece. And then, like I said, right here, I want to hit. So we're going to dip our what's this stuff called? Sandpaper in the water. And then I'm just going to start going to town on those spots. I do this with most, if not all, of my prints. This is how you get that ultra smooth fit. It's already feeling so much smoother. I laid this stuff on thick. Now, here's the thing. Let me show you something real quick. I normally use Duplicolor Primer Filler. This is the red. I have it in gray also. This is in red, but I use it in gray as well. This is what I use. Now this costs $10 a can. Or not 10, $12 a can. This is $12 a can. I went through about 12 cans of this primer. So I use this stuff, this Rust-Oleum. They got 2-in-1, and then they got regular automotive primer filler. This is what I use. This was $5, $5 or $6, $6. This is $6. $12, which is my favorite, and then the $6 stuff. Now this sprayed terribly. It got all over the place. It's super heavy and super thick, and you're gonna empty out a can. I did 1 can for this right here. I could have did like 2 of those for this. So it's whatever your budget is for. The more you pay, probably the better the stuff is gonna be. The Rust-Oleum is not good. This is my first time using it, and I don't like it. It comes out super thick, but I guess for the job that I'm doing right now, it worked out in the long run because I'm sanding it down really smooth right now. You pay $18.99 plus 15% tax for that red primer? Yeesh. Sheesh. Which one, Blaze? Which one is your primer, your go-to? But I'm gonna tell you what, man, that came out so smooth. That's why I always go heavy. If you've seen my videos, I always say I spray on heavy. This is why. So when you come to sanding it down, you can sand it down so smooth. This is crazy smooth finish. And it's gonna show in your work and in your paint when you take that extra time. Because my paint has primer in it as well, I'm not gonna have to go over it again with another coat. So normally I do the primer filler, and then once I'm happy with the primer filler, I go over it again with a regular primer. Not a primer filler, but just a regular primer. And what that's gonna do is allow me to put whatever paint. I usually use a white primer because then I can paint anything to it. So say I'm painting a red, you won't see the underbody of the sanding on top because I already primed it. Oh, this is coming out so smooth. I wish you had fill-o-vision where you could feel what I'm doing. Jimmy, what's happening? Duplicolor is some of the best, but it costs a lot. Yeah, exactly. But it is the best. So if I'm doing it with a small project, like a helmet build or something like that, I would use the Duplicolor. That's my recommendation. If you're doing something big and you have to do you're gonna go through a lot of cans you already know, to save some money, just go with the Rust-Oleum. It's not bad. It's not the greatest, but it ain't bad. It's not. You don't want to break your paint or your bank for some primer filler. You know what I'm saying? Man, I wish y'all can feel this. It's like a baby's butt. So y'all can already see that spot that I was talking about right here. Look at that, it's gone. And it's so smooth. You already saw when it had the thing on there, and now it's gone. I'm not spending a whole crazy amount of time. In fact, I should be wiping some of this stuff off so it's not drying on there. But yeah, just by what I was telling you guys, look at that. Those lines are gone now. Ooh. So for when I start painting, I have a full bodysuit because I always come out covered in paint. So I bought one of those cheapo $10 bodysuits to paint in. I gotta wear that, man. It's gonna be hot though. Wet sanding makes the biggest difference. But like I said, there's particular spots that I want to pay close attention to. That's the seam lines, like over here. This is where I fuse the two parts together. So I definitely want to pay close attention to those spots. And then just spots that look like the primer just came out really rough. I'm going over the whole thing, but I really want to focus with the sandpaper on those particular spots. Another part that I need to pay a close attention to is the top. This is where I printed this on the top, and it was beat up. Smooth, like a baby's butt. You about to start a Raimi Spider-Man? Nice. I really wanted to do the T51 and the T45 helmet from Fallout. Didn't really get around to doing that for the contest, for the Yosh contest. But I still have the file. So I still want to do that helmet. I don't know what time soon. I have a couple sponsored videos probably coming up after this build. There's a thing I want to print they're called Deposition Sound, and they make speakers, 3D printed speakers. So they make like a kit, and you print out the housing for the speaker, and you basically 3D print your speaker. They're only a little startup, so I kind of got to pay out of pocket for it. I still think it'd be such a cool build to 3D print my own speaker. So I want to do that. I'm in talks with Temu. I'm trying to get a little bit more out of them though. So I don't know what build I'm going to do next, but I'm definitely going to drop another helmet build soon. Depending on if I want to keep it or not. I don't know if I want to keep it or not because you see I don't even have that much room. All right, let's wipe this down. Oh, I didn't even do this side. I didn't do this side, guys. You can hear it, the roughness, and then it gets smooth with the sandpaper. I got my decals already ready for this. I haven't printed the decals out yet, but they're already just sitting on my computer ready for the printout. I bought a Cricut. It's called a Cricut shortcut thing. It's like a decal sticker vinyl cutter. So when I have to do decals or vinyls, I don't have to buy them anymore from the store because a lot of the times I can't even find the decal that I want. So I have to make my own, and it's a lot easier when you have your own vinyl to do your decals versus trying to find it or buy. I did it for my Star Wars X-Wing pilot helmet. I had to buy it on eBay, and to be honest, I was not happy with it. I feel like I could have made it better in a way. So next time going forward, I'll be making my own decals. And this looks good. This is ready to go. I'm gonna let this dry a little bit more before I paint it. But that's ready to go. Next, I want to do the back piece. Let's clean some of this up. Let's change out the water, I guess. Normally, I wouldn't change the water out, but y'all, I got time, y'all. Tomorrow, though, y'all, when I'm not streaming it, I'm going to be knocking these things out. Yo, DJ, what's happening? You said sick hustle? If y'all haven't yet, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, man. I appreciate it. And then it'll like send my video out for other people to go see it, and you know that whole jazz. Like, subscribe, give me a thumbs up. Let me pump out these analytics. Let's see what we're talking about. Whew. Well, don't do that. Don't forget to run your rent over, because then you're going to be SOL. All right. I got a new bucket of water. I'm going to have my back piece. Same thing goes with the back piece. I'm going to make sure I pay special attention to my seam lines where I fuse the prints together, because those are what you see most of. And the back is going to be a little bit easier, I guess, than the front, but there's still like some spots that have to get sanded down. But let's get this back piece nice and smooth like I did the front. You can really hear it when I first start sanding. It sounds so... You definitely don't want to add paint on top of that. Right now I'm sanding with 400 grit sandpaper. Normally when I do a wet sand, I always start off with a 220 and then 400. But for right now, this is really smooth already how it is. So I'm just hitting it with straight 400. I'm skipping a step, I guess you can say. I hate to say though, but like, it's the back piece. People pay attention to the back piece, but do they really pay attention to the back? The middle section that I did right here, the jetpack actual part, I actually resin printed that and then fused it to the FDM sides. So this piece right here is actually resin printed. That's why you can see all those details in there. The gears and sprockets and this Rust-Oleum is super thick. Just trying to scrape it off, I can just feel chunks of it coming off. It doesn't come off like Duplicolor does. First time using Rust-Oleum, and now I know why I don't prefer it. So now I can actually say, people like, this is why I prefer it, but if you need it in your budget, then I can actually speak on the differences. So I'm glad I used it for just my recommendation purposes, but I'm not a big fan. The only thing I'm a fan of is how cheap it was. That's my professional opinion. But man, this is so smooth. Like a baby's butt. I wasn't gonna wet sand all of the parts, but now I kind of think I got to, right? Because I know how smooth it's gonna come out. Oh, I'm sure it does. That's why I'm doing a wet sand with it. Yeah, it gets it pretty good. Let's see, I got a week to finish the paint and then airbrush it. Y'all think I got enough time? Well, technically, I don't have to be finished till next. I'm going to Dragon Con next Friday. So not this Friday, next Friday. So I got till then. But you wanna make sure you have enough time to fix anything that breaks. If you had to repaint something, you wanna have that time to do all that stuff. Rent paid, let's go. I got you, Blaze. I will say this about it though, this Rust-Oleum, because it comes out so thick that when you wet sand it, man, it's amazing. But I think that's just wet sanding, period. It's not just from the Rust-Oleum. I think if I did it with my Duplicolor, it would have came out just as good as well. My War Machine helmet was resin printed. I got it done by PCB Way. They did the whole entire helmet. But it was such an amazing job. The only negative thing I can say about getting your helmet resin printed is resin weighs a ton. Resin weighs a lot. So guess what? That's gonna add weight on your servos. That's gonna add weight to all your internal components. So when you think you could just, use a simple cheapo $5.99 servo from Amazon, you cannot. I had to go to the hobby store and get one of those high-powered servos for RC cars, or boats, or planes, whatever they use those high-powered RC cars or high-speed servos for. But that being said, man, if it doesn't look so good, it's smooth, it's heavy. Again, it's a heavy helmet, but it looks amazing. Just like the back of this War Machine. So that's not sanded. Can y'all see that? That's not sanded. And then that's sanded. It looks so much better. It's night and day difference. Thank you guys so much for being here to my stream. I appreciate each and every one of y'all for coming through and watching me sand and print and do my part to help the community. So I just want to thank y'all for being here as I sweat my balls off in the garage. It's night and day. If I feel the difference, like I can close my eyes and be like, unsand it, sand it. So that being said, I definitely have to sand the rest of my suit. I was gonna be lazy about it, but excuse me, I can't. Not after seeing the difference. Is anybody out there doing a War Machine suit or anything? I know Blaze said you were working on some kind of suit, right? Morph is back! Oh, he's still here. He's still leaving. No worries, Morph. Thank you for being an amazing mod. And for the gifted, y'all. Big shout out to Morph for the gifted subs. A Spartan cosplay for hell yeah. I see a lot of people do those Spartan, not a lot, but you know what I mean. I see people do those Halo cosplays, and boy, do they look good. Say I did a Halo helmet first and not a War Machine helmet, I'm pretty sure I will be doing a Halo cosplay. It just so happened I did a War Machine suit, and I see everybody has Iron Man suits, and I was like, man, as much as I would love like an Iron Man, everybody does them, and I want it to be different. I'm like, how come I don't see that many War Machines, you know? That boy is just as cool as Iron Man, even though Iron Man is probably my favorite Marvel character. But my boy War Machine needs some love too. Yeah, it's gonna be heavy. Even my gauntlets are heavy. I did the minigun in resin. That's why I won't be using this at the con. This is all resin. This whole top half is all resin. This is FDM. This thing is heavy. No way I can put this on anything. But I'm already working on a plan to get it like hollowed out. I want to put internals in there so I can get it to spin. A couple of servo motors. Trust me, I'm gonna get it to spin and it's gonna be able to articulate. It's gonna be dope as hell. I got plans. I got plans, y'all. It's just first I need the suit. When I go to Dragon Con, I want to see how many Iron Mans versus how many War Machines I see. I bet you I'll probably be like the only War Machine. That's what I'm thinking. If it was Comic Con, I bet you there'd be a lot more. There'd be a lot more War Machines, but it's just Dragon Con. I don't know. I've never been to any real convention. I went to the Augusta convention here not too long ago, and that was whack. So that's what I was thinking too. I actually have a small rechargeable drill that I was going to use for it. Where's it at? It's somewhere down there. That's what I was going to do, but actually you can just get a servo and have it fully spin. And it's a lot more programmable than a drill is. But yeah, that was actually, Blaze, that was my first thought to do, was get a small drill. I should weigh myself when I'm finished with everything. Why? I'm gonna be like 1,000,000 pounds. Not 1,000,000, but you know. I'm gonna be big. I'm gonna be thickums. I'm gonna be a thick boy. That's a thick boy. That's gonna be me. I actually looked online too. I looked at a lot of like online pictures of their cosplays of people doing War Machine. And the only War Machine that I saw was like, wow, that's badass, was a company who makes suits professionally. And they made a War Machine suit with a minigun that moves and stuff like that. And this thing lifts, like, it tilts, let me show you. This minigun tilts back, it tilts forwards. It like, I don't know if it's spun, it might have spun, but it goes left and right. I was like, this is crazy. But again, they make suits professionally. Everybody else's War Machine is like kind of like mid. I did my War Machine to be just like everyone that does their Iron Man suits, but I did it with War Machine. Everybody else, you know, it's all right, I guess. I don't want to hate on anybody's suit because I know exactly what it takes to make one of these. But then again, I took the time and put in that work to make my suit look like this. So Not only that, I've practiced my knowledge and my skills. If I would have cranked this suit out when I made that helmet, it wouldn't have looked nearly as good as this. This just took all of my skills that I've learned and put them all together as one skill. It combined all my knowledge. It combined all his knowledge into one. How long has your sanding process been so far? It's been long. It's been rough and long. I had to, let's say, each piece, let's just use my back plate for an example. It took me about a couple hours, maybe 3 hours to sand the whole thing down. Then once I sanded it all down, I added the Bondo and acetone to it. Let that dry out. Once that was dry, I switched over. I have to do the back piece now. Once I let that all dry up, I sanded it down from the Bondo acetone, which basically made it a red hell in here. Whew. The jetpack's no joke. It looks good as hell, though. It looks good, but it ain't no joke. What purpose does the acetone do? Never heard of using it. Then again, I'm new. So essentially, once you sand down as much as you can with like your first initial sands, just to knock down the initial layer lines, you are still not ready to add any kind of primer to it. Some people can, especially if you're using like the X1C and you're pairing it with the Polymaker Cosplay. Now I swear by that Cosplay, but you still need to fill in those layer lines because people will see them. So what you do to help fill in those layer lines is you add Bondo. Now Bondo is really thick. It's like a paste. So what you do to thin that paste out, and it actually thins it out so you can use more of it. You mix it with acetone until it gets really runny. You want it like a wet mud consistency. I go over this in all my videos. So if you ever just want to check out one of my newer videos, you can see that too. But it's going to thin out that Bondo. And now you can just paint it on with a paintbrush. And it's going to be like, it's surprising how smooth it comes out after you add the Bondo and acetone. It's crazy. But once you do that and you sand that down, you're gonna sand it down till there's like no Bondo left. You don't wanna really see any Bondo after you sand it down. You're gonna see it because it's gonna be red, but you don't want no chunks of Bondo. And then everything else will be filled in. So essentially, you'll have straight gaps. No gaps, I mean. You'll have no gaps on your print. It's crazy how it works. I swear by it. Now, some people will use the resin method where they'll take a UV light. They'll paint on some resin with like a paintbrush also. They'll paint on some resin. And then as soon as they paint it on, they'll cure it with a UV light. That's bright. And then it'll harden up. And then once you do enough of it, it'll fill in those layer lines as well and leaves, then you just sand that down. But it's messy, you gotta wear a respirator. It's not the best method. It works. I mean, it's a great method. Everyone uses it. I swear by the Bondo method though. Man, that is a smooth back. Smooth back. Now, while this is drying too, we're gonna set up the camera so y'all can see my my tint. Ooh. The resin method you heard of? Shoot, I thought the Bondo acetone method was a lot more popular than the resin method. That was just my opinion. Alrighty. So let me swivel you guys around and then. All right, I have to move my whole setup so y'all can see. And then I can see. So I can see the chat. All right, we're a little over. That should be a little bit better. We were blown out over there, huh? I was gonna wear my whole paint suit, but it's so hot, I'd rather just shower after I'm done. I'm gonna have to shower anyway. Griffith, thank you so much for stopping by, bro. I know, it's late over there. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But, I'm about ready to start painting. Ugh. I need a box. I don't have one though. That's unfortunate. I'm just gonna paint it. I'm gonna paint it laying down. That's what I'll do. It'll be all right. These are the two biggest pieces that I gotta worry about doing it like this. Everything else, I'm gonna be able to paint. I'm gonna be able to paint it like on the Lazy Susan. And then I have my big respirator, but it is hot. It is too hot to be wearing that big respirator. Now, as far as ventilation goes, I have two separate fans going. I have a fan right here that's venting it out, and I also have a fan with a filter on it that's shooting it out the side too. So inside it's pretty ventilated, and I'm also going to be wearing my respirator. Nice paint booth, thank you. All right, let me wipe the sweat off of my brow, and then we're gonna start getting the painting. Well, I gotta shake up the can too, huh? All right, so for the paint, I am using Krylon Fusion. Can't really see it, it's dark. It's because it is light blowed out everything. But this is the metallic dark metal. That's the closest, basically the closest paint I can to matching my other paint that I used for the War Machine helmet. I should have thought about what paint I wanted to use before I painted that helmet. Mine's in my front porch. Hey, you gotta get it where you can, my dude. Get it where you can. I'm about to sit down though. And I got the AC unit right here. Oh, y'all, the AC. It's where it's at. The backyard is gonna be yours. Hey, I started off with a little DIY paint box. No, actually, you're right. I started out my front yard too. I started out at my side of my yard. I started off at the side of my yard. Then I moved to a DIY spray booth that I saw somebody make online, so I made my own spray booth. And then I switched it over now to this. But this isn't that bad though. This is you're essentially paying $100. This one was 4 feet by 4 feet by 7, 6, 7, 6 by 6, 7. You have a resin setup in your garage, taking all your room. This is my whole garage. I have from this whole wall. So what you see is the spray booth. Then I have my little resin setup, even though it's just sitting there. It's not really my setup. Then I have another bench that has all my printers on it. And then where I panned you from, which is my workbench, where I do all my filming, it's another setup. And if I get this deal done with this company that has a standing desk, I'll have my actual, it's gonna be my actual, what's that shit called? My presentation desk, I guess you can say. All right, so I think it's shooken up. I shook it up pretty good. And now we're gonna put on my mask. I'm gonna go with the light dust coat first, and then I'm gonna go with the next heavy coat. Well, not heavy, but a light coat. The dust coat allows the paint to stick to the actual prop, and then the wet coat is gonna stick to that dust coat. Now I'm gonna hit it with that first light wet coat. A bug just landed on my paint. All right, y'all, that was my first coat. Woo. Hot. I think it went really well. First light coat. I got to do one more coat. I almost used that whole can. It was a lot of moving it around because I wanted to make sure I didn't go over the same part too many times. We're going to let that flash for about 15 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. If it goes over 30, that's not bad. But I want to give that enough time for that coat to get tacky. Then the next coat, which is my final coat, will go on it. But I think it looks really good. I want to show you, but the way the light is set up, I can't really get a good showing on it. Let me see. It's so dark. Hold on. I'm gonna do some adjusting. A little too bright. That's a little bit better. It's a good first coat. I'm gonna go sit this down. So I can do the back piece now. See, this one stands up. I'll be able to hit it and then lay it down and then get the bottom. But I almost used this whole can. In fact, that's gone. I'm not gonna even worry about it. I knew I was gonna go through some of these cans. So that's why I ordered a whole bunch, but geez, that first one really took it out of there. All right, let me adjust the light back down a little bit. There we go. Yeah, I really like the way it came out. I'm happy with it. The next one is gonna be a really thick wet coat. Not too wet where it runs. You don't want it to run because then you gotta sand it down and start over. I don't want to do that. But I want it wet so you'll see. So same thing what I'm gonna do with this one. Hit it first with a dust coat, and that's gonna allow the first coat is gonna stick. So there's dust coat, first coat, and then wet coat. Does that make sense? If I'm losing you guys, just go ahead and let me know. Be like, hey, what do you mean? And I'll tell you again. Sorry, this can is rattling too in your ear. But yeah, so I go dust coat, first coat, and then wet coat. And I don't know why there's so many bugs flying around in here. One of the bugs landed on my paint, bro. I wanted to flip the French toast out. I'm super happy with it. I'm looking at it again over here. I'm definitely guys going to show you guys before I ended up the rest of the night, but I am really happy with how it came out because you know what's going to happen after I paint it all. It's going to get a nice clear coat. It's going to get a banging old clear coat. And that clear coat is what's going to make it pop. It looks good now, but that nice paint booth. Thank you, Ronnie. I appreciate it. And welcome in, man. I think you've already been in here, huh? But thank you. It cost a little bit money, but it's better than the booth I had before, which was not a booth at all. Now, this actually captures all the overspray. Some people got ads, so I'm not going to spray it. So in about 20 seconds, you're gonna get some ads. I appreciate if you stay through those ads because it helps your boy get paid some moolah. I need the money. And then after the ad, I'm gonna start spraying. So I'm not gonna spray in like 5 seconds, okay? Whew, it's hot. I'm gonna go get a water while we're on break. All right, let's get spraying, y'all. Whew. Ugh. All right, so now it comes down to the final coat. So after I finish the last coat, this is gonna be a thicker second coat. This is gonna be wet. This is gonna be a wet, wet coat. But once I finish this coat, then it comes down to just touching it up. But I don't think I did a pretty good job. Yo, Jed, that is a dope spray booth. Thank you so much. Bryce, thank you. Whew. It is hot as a ball sacks. All right, so let's finish this up. It's getting late. It's probably late for you guys. It's already 9 o'clock, y'all, and I want to get done painting. So I'm about to hit it with these second coats, and then we'll be good to go. There's a little one left in there, but I'm gonna save that for my dust coat. It's so weird hearing your IRL name. What's your like gamer tag or your printing name or whatever you go by? What's your alternate name? Okay, I'm dying, y'all. I'm dying. Let's switch it back around. Change all my settings back. Okay, so essentially, guys, that's about it for the paint job. I have to just do that now to all the other pieces, which is cool because now I'm almost done. So there's that. So it's funny now that you said it, Jed, Mac, now I don't even know what to call you. See, you done confused me. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up my stream. Where is my stream, yo? Okay, so Mac, Jed, I'm so confused. But essentially, now what I have is two French printed parts right here. And this looks good, bro. And right here. These look so good. I'm so happy with how they came out. What do you guys think? How did they come out? You gotta remember though, I still have to paint on the trimming, so I gotta wait for this to dry. I don't even know how to pick this up. Here we go, little tab. I gotta wait for this to dry, but I think they came out really good. Let's match them up to my let's match them up to the helmet. So here's the helmet. You gotta remember the helmet's a little bit more glossy because it has a clear coat on it already. But once this gets that clear coat, it's gonna pop like crazy. But I think I did a pretty good job matching it. Ooh. Oh, War Machine. Oh, I'm dying of sweat right now. I definitely got to take myself a shower. He said it came out beautiful. Thank you guys. Thank you. He's like, I can call you whatever. But that's basically, now I have to do that. I have to do this to the rest of the suit. Wait for it to dry. Oh, I'm just dripping sweat all over my suit. Oh my goodness. I'm such a terrible painter. Like I drip sweat all over it. You can really see the imperfections. I can see them. I mean, they're probably hard to see, but I can like pinpoint all of them. But I still think it came out really good. Now, yeah, like I said, I just got to do that to the rest of it. You said you won't touch it for a painted part. Well, I had to show you guys what it looked like because I know you couldn't really see it in the booth. Normally, I'll just leave it in the spray booth after I'm done. But I'm about to call it now. It's been about 2 hours. I've been on for a minute now. So I'm about to go ahead and call it. You guys have been great, man. As always. I love you guys. Whew. All right. I don't know what to do. Hey, if y'all haven't followed me on all my socials, just G3D on basically everything: Twitter, X, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, all that stuff. TikTok. If you haven't followed me on YouTube, go ahead and hit that follow button as well. Hit that like button before you guys leave. I appreciate it. I should be posting a video about this build pretty soon. Blaze, have a good night. Jed, thank you so much. Ronnie, Jed, or be cool. I already said Blaze. Yeah, who else is here? Bryce, Fresco Bar, Mag, if you're still here. Griffith, I know you're gone, but thank you so much for stopping by. Morph, I know he's gone. All you guys, thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great rest of your night. God bless y'all. Peace out.